in China, for instance, we had a textile factory that says they'll save about $1.2 million a year on each factory for electricity just by changing from the current blowers they use to Sprintex blowers. Now, China has the cheapest industrial electricity in the world. In UK, electricity is 6 times as much money. So they'd be saving $6 million a year for the same changeover.
Sprintex continues to expand its footprint in Europe, this time with a landmark manure to fertilizer system order forecast to bring in 8.4 million in revenue. To discuss this potentially game-changing milestone is CEO Jay Upton. Jay, it's good to see you.
Good morning, Jonathan.
So let's talk about this trial order first. How did it come about, and what does it mean for the company?
Well, many of our shareholders will be familiar with the Mest Water project. It's been going on for 6 months at least now, and it really is. It's the biggest thing happening in Sprintex at the moment. It's a game changer. What it is, fundamentally, it's a program with a Dutch wastewater company that specialises in manure treatment for dairy and pig farms. So the Dutch government has mandated that farms reduce their ammonia output. And they have two choices at the moment. They either pay the fines or they reduce their herds. And either way, they have to comply by 2030. Full stop. They can't just pay the fine. So what that means is over the last couple of years, we've seen almost a 20% reduction in the number of farms in Netherlands, but they just can't continue farming. So it really is, it's a huge opportunity in that Mest Water has a patented system to resolve the problem. Basically, it takes the ammonia out of the manure. It takes the water out at a level that the water can be reused. So it's clean water, basically. The ammonia, they turn into pelleted ammonium phosphate or ammonium nitrate fertilizer. And the remaining solid, which is only about 20% of the original, goes to potting mix and that sort of thing. And it's already pasteurized, if you like. There's no bacteria in it because it's treated by the Mest system at above 70 Celsius is the rule. So it can be exported and everything else. So it's a fantastic opportunity. And where it started off looking pretty straightforward, as these things do, it's actually grown. It's bigger than Ben-Hur now. The government's got involved and they're looking to finance rental fleets to assist the small farms. Agricultural groups are involved, and of course we've seen Mandurah Farming, which is one of the very biggest veal producers in the world, €3.5 billion turnover is crazy. They have actually suffered the same thing. If you look at their annual reports, they dropped 300 million in turnover from 22 to 23 because of this mandated change. So they're pushing harder than anybody almost. We are is in June we will start the final field trials at Mandurah Properties. And going on from there, they've said, assuming that goes well, there's a 200 unit initial order. So that's huge for us. And ongoing, it's really only limited by what Mest can make. So Mest has taken on a 31,000 square meter factory, which cost them €8 million. So obviously fully confident they just spent €8 million on the building. Absolutely big enough, and now they're scaling up in terms of people and machines. It's taking a little to grow it to full production, but we're expecting it to get to at least 1,000 units a year.
It's big. I want to sort of elaborate on this relationship that you have with Mest. It's going from strength to strength. I mean, there's been several announcements with Mest this year. It's growing.
Well, I've been to Netherlands, I don't know, 5 times in the last 6 months. So it really is a big part of our program at the moment, and our engineering team is they're on first name basis with the local hotel because we've been spending a fair bit of time there, and what we've been able to achieve was fantastic because we've actually been able to improve Mest system in terms of its energy efficiency. As you probably, or our shareholders will probably know, we've been talking about energy saving in various markets, water aeration and industrial blowers and what have you, where we can save anywhere up to 70% energy for aquaculture, fish farming, that sort of thing. So now we've been able to, we've now started making a different custom compressor, or actually 3 different models of custom compressor for Mest. And they're under their original target of 50 kilowatts per ton to treat the manure. So it's very viable, very cost effective to treat the manure, and really it's a win-win all round, to the point that, as I say, the government's jumping on the bandwagon over there now and wanting to help, and agricultural groups and sustainability groups, everybody's getting involved now, and the news is spreading. So really, as I say, the thing is bigger than Ben-Hur. It's projected to be about 150 million for us over 5 years, and it could be bigger.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, big things happening in the Netherlands, but you're looking at Europe more broadly as well, and this technology.
Yes, well, just going back a little bit, where I mentioned we were able to save 50 to 70% energy in a lot of industrial applications and agriculture applications. Well, in China, for instance, we had a textile factory that says they'll save about $1.2 million a year on each factory for electricity, just by changing from the current blowers they use to Sprintex blowers. Now, China has the cheapest industrial electricity in the world. In UK, electricity is 6 times as much money. So they'd be saving $6 million a year for the same changeover. Germany is 5 times as much as China. So in particular for us, Europe is a market, it expects and embraces high-tech sustainability applications and equipment, and it has infrastructure to support high-tech equipment, which many countries, as you know, we're working with India and Turkey and a few others, but it's more of a struggle there because those less developed countries have lower quality infrastructure in terms of electricity quality and voltage and consistency, whereas the likes of Germany and UK are world leaders technology-wise and have extremely good infrastructure. And as I say, they have both the expectation and the ability to support those high-tech products, which is really very good for Sprintex. And I can see we'll probably end up with a subsidiary in Europe in the near future, I think.
Yeah. And there's so much going on, Jay. The Hanover Mess conference that created real interest in the MVR technology as well. Can you talk us through that and the sort of moving into markets like dairy and green hydrogen?
Yes, but it really came about because of Mess. The Mess technology is effectively MVR, mechanical vapor recompression. So it's a way of reusing waste heat in industrial processes, and it's very popular in food production, in beverage production, beers and what have you. So again, a very big application, and as a result of the Hanover Fair, we met a Belgian company that's been specializing in breweries for 30 years and probably unmatched knowledge in that area, and they are so excited by the fact that we can do smaller scale MVR. MVR is typically massive factories and massive machines, so they're very excited about the fact that we can do smaller scale stuff.
So plenty going on, Jay. What can we expect now in the short to medium term?
Well, of course, we've got to get this trial bedded down in June. That looks like going off pretty well. We've been able to commission our units and improve what we do over the several visits. We've had our engineering team there probably 5 times for a week at a time. So we've done a lot of work in that regard. That's all coming to fruition now, and I would say the first step will be the 200 unit order from Vandrida Mest, which automatically means we get orders for 200, and then we can start looking at some of the other opportunities that have spun off. There's a mobile unit as well to treat smaller farms. Obviously, small farms probably don't need that. That's 24/7 manure treatment facility. So many many things are developing out of this and many angles.
Mm.
But yeah, it really looks very good. And I think Sprintex will do extremely well in that space. And because of that actual process and that project, we're seeing a lot of recognition of what we're doing, and a lot of other companies coming to us and saying, well, if you can do that, can you do this?
Yeah.
Just to try and narrow our focus and keep focused on getting mesh finished and then move on from there. But there's a queue behind them.
Yeah, as I said, certainly plenty to look forward to. Jay, thanks for your time today.
We really feel we have a tiger by the tail. I've said before that the change to Sprintex blowers is almost like the change to LED light, a huge energy saving. It took a long time for LED to catch on, and I hope we'll get it done a bit quicker with Sprintex. But
Jay, thanks for your time today, and we'll speak again as it continues to unfold.
Thank you, Jonathan. Great.